One man in particular paid the price for assumptions that Muslims might have been responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing.
On April 19th, I was fixing to go to Jordan. My family called me a week earlier and told me that my grandfather is getting sick and I should go and see him. I left Oklahoma City at exactly 10:40 that morning. I never knew anything about what happened, of course, until I reached Chicago around 1:30 that day in the afternoon. CNN was reporting the news. I was just like shocked. I just left the city, a few hours before. And of course I left my wife and my kids and my friends and house and everything there. And it was only 2 minutes before agents from the custom and the immigration came and asked me to go with them for questioning. The first 2-3 hours were all about how did you get the citizenship, when did you come to the US, just a routine immigration question. Then they told me the FBI want to talk to me too. 2 agents questioned me for at least, I would say, 2 to 3 hours. And the questions were all about the Muslims, the Arab in Oklahoma City. In the beginning, are you a Muslim? Do you pray? Do you go to the mosque? Do you know how many Muslim people live in Oklahoma City? And of course, I told them everything I know. I told them I do pray. And just like most people, we do care about our religion. We do pray and fast and do whatever we're supposed to do.
Eventually, the FBI concluded their questioning and allowed Ibrahim Ahmad to resume his journey. Having missed his original flight, he was now routed via London. But on arriving in Britain, he was detained yet again, in spite of his protests that he'd already been questioned by the FBI and then let go.
We went to a small room, and the first thing they said, take your clothes off. And I was strip searched at that moment, even my underwear. And this is, as a Muslim, of course, this is this is just totally humiliation, because as a Muslim, you're not supposed to be naked in front of anybody.
Ahmad was marched to a plane in handcuffs and flown back to Washington. By the time of his arrival, the media had been tipped off that a man of Middle Eastern origin had been detained in connection with the bombing. But the authorities sped Ahmad away, out of sight of the cameras.
They put me in kind of a darkened van, and before they put me inside the van, they read my rights. And they came and said, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do, or, things they do, and that was the first time they read me my rights. And at that moment, that's when I really freaked out, and I thought, this is it. They are going to frame me for the Oklahoma City bombing.
That evening, they showed his house, and I looked at the address. I said, no, this couldn't be happening. And the person who doesn't know Ibrahim Ahmad will look at him and say, that's it. They caught the guy. He's the guilty one. His friends and people who knows him were at shock. This couldn't be happening. Of course he didn't do it.
When it comes to remember what happened to my wife and my kids, it kind of make your blood boil. After the name and the address being leaked to the media and to the public, now you have people, angry people, who are throwing trash in front of your house, and here you have people shouting, insanity, and the media, of course, from all over the world, and also you got 2-3 helicopters, in the top of the house, and you got 3 years old and 6 years old girls inside the house, and FBI agents questioning my wife, and all of this happening to them.
But Ibrahim Ahmad was swiftly released when the real man behind the bombing was caught.
Timothy McVeigh, age 27, was arrested by local authorities on a traffic violation about 60 miles from Oklahoma City on Wednesday morning.
And when it comes out that it was an American that did it, made it, I guess, the reaction even worse.
Was a shock that it was a U.S. citizen. It doesn't seem to be in our nature to do terrorist acts. It's always somebody else does it to us. It's happening in your own country by your own people.
And still hard to believe that it was an American.
No longer comfortable in America, Ibrahim Ahmad now lives and works with his family in the United Arab Emirates.
For our kids, we don't want them to pay the price of ignorance. Some people in the United States do not understand Islam, and they think because someone bombed something somewhere, they think this is Islam, and all Muslims like to do these things. Do I really miss the United States? I certainly. I love to go back, and one of these days, I have to go back, and definitely it's not going to be the same city, but I do want to go back.
Ibrahim Ahmad is still waiting for an apology from the American government.